And what is exciting about this approach is the care with which they're going about it, to be selective, to know and assess the nature of how much is there to begin with. It's estimated that no more than 5% of the population of the precious corals involved will be taken, as opposed to, for example, some of the fish populations that within 20 years, 90% or more have been extracted from the places where they live. That simply is not sustainable. And this has the promise of actually working.
Just to follow up on her question, I think what she's asking is, Maui Divers is making a lot of money by doing this. What is the state getting for the permit? If you pay for the permit in some ways, the state gets some sort of a kickback here?
I think I need to answer that if I could. First off, it's not Maui Divers that owns the permits. It's my company. Okay. And for the last 3 years in working with the state and the scientists such as Rick and Sylvia for that matter, we've created a new level of information that is going to be coming back to the state and federal governments through the reporting requirements. So this is actually kind of a new concept in that regard. The past deep water science, has been a very expensive thing over the years for the state and federal governments to get involved with. But we are actually conducting what I would call an open book project, in as much as to where all of the information and all of the data which we're collecting, which includes more than just a video or depth record. I mean, there's actually quite a bit of scientific information in a working dive that we are turning over to the state and federal governments in an open book manner. So that is something that we believe we're providing to the state and the federal governments, which is a huge value. In addition to that, if I might add, our company was acting as actually a sponsor to the Sustainable Seas program in the provision of the submersibles for the work off of Maui in the sanctuary area.
So, but in terms of monetary value, information I understand is very valuable. But in terms of monetary value, is the state getting anything?
Yeah, the state actually gets its sale tax for the sale of a raw product in terms of monetary.
And you shouldn't underestimate the value of the knowledge either. If a state or federal or private agency had to go out and, hire the submersibles, we're talking this many thousands of dollars a day to gather the information. And they're like precious nuggets of knowledge that really help not just with this particular industry, they help with the nature of understanding how the ocean works as a whole. Now, it's certainly valuable to the Marine Sanctuary Program, with which I'm involved, and the others who are here trying to characterize the waters around Hawaii so that we can better make decisions about what's happening on the land, what's happening in the ocean, what we can do, what we should try not to do to maintain the good health of the place.
How large of an area are we talking about?
The economic zone of the Pacific in terms of U.S. waters.
Out 200 miles from land.
Yeah, huge area, including American Samoa, possibly Guam, northern Hawaiian Islands. So it's a large part of the Pacific with regards to U.S. holdings, and mostly areas where very little or no science has been conducted.
Dr. Earle mentioned that only 5% of the coral will be taken. What does that amount to annually?
Well, we don't know. We haven't really started. This is all based. This is based largely on our exploratory efforts, which have yet to begin in earnest.
I think if I could add to that answer, we don't know the number for the whole area, but for designated beds like the one between Oahu and Molokai, which is the Makapu coral bed, the number is 1,000 kilos per year. That's 1 ton approximately, 2,000 pounds. To give you an idea, that's 5% per year of what's there. Now, we've been following the growth and the colonization of coral in that bed since 1970, and it's sustained. It's recruiting at the same rate that it was harvested. And that's also true for the black coral bed on Maui. No more than 5% of that per year comes out. And we were, in fact, Sylvia and I were down in an area that has been harvested most frequently because it's closest area to Lahaina. And it was populated by really a high density of colonies. We have a video, and you can see about 300 colonies along this 100-meter transect. So it's a very healthy condition at this point in time.
Are there any more questions? Thank you again for coming.